What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Simba Sports Hub, man, where we talk all things Washington Commanders football, y'all. And yes, as y'all fucking see, what I hold on. Before we get into all this, man, make sure y'all like the video, man. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. And after all we about to talk about, let's really debate. Hit that comment section. Let me know how you feel about everything. But first off, let's give a fucking round of applause to Adam Peters, to fucking Dan Quinn, to the whole Washington Commanders organization, because they finally fucking listened to me. They finally listened to me, y'all. And as y'all can fucking see, we finally got us a fucking kicker, y'all. We finally got us a goddamn kicker that I can be proud of. Let me take that back. Let me walk it back, y'all, because I don't know what this man is going to do. But I can tell you goddamn what. He is going to be better than goddamn Riley Patterson, who was released today. As you know it, y'all, we made a big trade for our franchise and traded for Cade York out of Cleveland. I think this is his going into his second year right now, man. If I remember his stats correctly, man, the man kicked over 75% last year for the Cleveland Browns. I know there was some discussions about his injuries, him having knick-knack injuries, but hey, we ain't worried about that right now. This is a new slate for him. We traded a 7th round pick for Cade York, and I'm excited. I've been asking for this. We know it was diabolical to see Riley Patterson miss 2 extra points against the Dolphins. He make those, it may be a different ball game. We just never know. But hey, it was preseason. We're not really looking, at the win column and at the misses. But I've said this since the start of training camp when we had to let go of McManus, that we need a kicker. And now we have brought somebody else in to kind of take on that role. Because again, we got a rookie quarterback, y'all, and y'all may not really want to accept this, but you need a kicker, man. And I'm not saying that Jaden Daniels not about to go out here and walk us down the field every possession that we get on offense, but you just gotta be prepared to get that 3rd down and going in the 4th down. Maybe it's a 40 to 50-yard kick, and you need to have faith that you're sending out your kicker and you want to walk away with 3 points after that drive. And a guy that hit 75% of his field goals, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was 4 for 7 for 50-plus yards. I think he was damn near perfect for 40-plus. And I think he may have missed one 40-plus, and then he was perfect from anywhere from 30 to 35 yards. But hey, we finally got us a kicker, chat, and I'm excited. This was the best news for me, because hopefully this guy can come in. 1, he can stay healthy. 2, he can be consistent, and he can capitalize on his rookie season from last year with the Cleveland Browns, and that we might got us a kicker, y'all. I still stand by my my tweet earlier or yesterday that, hey, bring in 4 or 5 of the guys right now. What's the worst that can happen? What is the worst that can happen between now and week 1 against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Nothing. We can just have a kicking competition. We should just have a whole practice unit spent on kicking. Hey, everybody going to get 10 kicks. And we're going to start at the 20. We're going to start at the 20. We're going to work our way back to 60. And the best, whoever had the best numbers out of that, we're going to say, but we ain't got to do that. We got us a kicker, y'all, and we traded for him, and I'm more than excited to have an actual kicker. But I know this ain't what y'all want to hear. This is just my new news to what else dropped later on. It was like an explosion that kind of came across the Twitter waves, the Instagrams, the Bleacher Report waves, is that we have traded our former 1st round pick, Jahan Dotson, y'all, and we traded him in the 5th round pick and this is where I don't know. I really don't know why we traded him to a rival such as the already stacked offense Philadelphia Eagles. We traded him in the 5th round pick and got back a 2025 3rd round pick and 2 7th round picks. We made a trade with them in the draft, so I can't be too upset, but I was still a little questionable because You don't trade to the enemy's line. The line, you don't go over to the enemy's line and make trades, man. I'm sorry. I really don't understand the mindset behind it. I really don't. But again, if that is the best offer that we got, um, hey, I ain't mad at it. I wish him nothing but the best. I hope he is able to succeed over there in their offense. As we know, he's probably not going to play much outside. It'll probably be different formation packages where he do line up outside because he can't play outside. I don't know if he's a traditional number 2 or he's a traditional slot man, but he has the upside to get better to be a number 2 or to be a lethal slot man for the Eagles. They got AJ Brown over there, Devontae Smith, so they already got their 1 and their 2. But I'm a little upset. I'm a little upset, y'all, because as y'all know, me, my pops, and one of my coworkers, man, we went to the training camp, and I had already had my Jahan Dotson jersey. Let me go ahead and get that in the camera, and I got my man's signature. Y'all. I got him to sign his jersey, but now this can just get hung up. That kind of goes to what my man Rio Robinson said. He don't buy jerseys with players' names on them, man. He'll rather just buy a blank jersey and throw his name on there and put and choose a number and choose different numbers to just have his name on there. So I might have to go that route moving forward. I may not be buying no more player jerseys because I am not a players fan. I am a fan of the Washington Commanders. I know it was a lot of upset people, a lot of upset fans because they felt as though that Jahan Dotson, this was going to be his comeback year because of how, bad of a, not, mediocre with injuries, how much of a drop he had from his rookie season to his sophomore season. Sophomore slump got him. I was excited for him. I was hoping that, he can really reinvent himself in this Cliff Kingsbury's offense. But, hey, man, it is what it is. My homeboy, when I called him, he said, man, what do we do? Why do we do this? And he's like, you not upset? I said, nah, man, I'm not. This is a new regime, man. And if anybody knows the NFL and the history of the NFL, man, when a new regime comes into town, there is no one safe. And I'm not being literal when I say no one is safe, but when you got guys that, he had a great rookie year. He had a very good rookie year that kind of gave you like, yeah, he was worth a first round pick. But it wasn't like over the top where you just like, nah, we got to keep this guy. Like whatever we do, he's not a tradable piece. And I know people say, oh, would you trade Terry McLaurin since he came from the old regime too? Nah, I'm not saying that. But at the end of the day, when Dan Snyder sold this team and Ron, departed, hey, whoever we brought in as a GM, whoever we brought in as a head coach, I am trusting in and I'm putting my faith behind the new regime, behind Josh Harris and the team. So I'm not overly upset. I'm not mad. I'm not. I was like a little shocked, but y'all know the number one thing that I was most happy with when I got the news. I ain't even get the news. My man texted me. He a Ravens fan. He texted me. He said, what y'all doing? I said, what you talking about, man? I had to go look at the picture. I said, oh snap, we finally had a trade that wasn't put out in the news media or the news outlets. Nobody was talking about a trade of Jahan Dotson. Nobody was rumbling. It wasn't no trade rumors. It wasn't no, I got people on the inside telling me Jahan Dotson is about to go up for a trade or, they're shopping him around. Nobody knew. When the last time that we had been caught off guard with a move by our Washington Commanders? I'm happy about that. I'm excited that all of the old regime, all of the old Washington Commanders mess is now gone. There's no leaks. There's only speculation, but it wasn't even no speculations about this trade. But again, I do question Adam Peters one thing. Well, why the Eagles? I mean, was they the only one offering us a third-round pick? And if that is true, hey, I sign off on it. But look, what I sincerely mean is that I don't want to see a guy like Terry McLaurin go. I don't want to see a guy like Jonathan Allen go. I don't want to see Deron Payne go. But at the end of the day, if the new regime wants to, build their team the way they want to build it, And these guys, I tip my hat off to Jonathan Allen. If he would have said before he, bought into the new guys, that we got on the team, Dan Quinn, Adam Peters, Bobby Witt Jr. If he had said, "Nah, I want to get up out of here, man. I want to end my couple of years playing for a potential Super Bowl," I wouldn't have been mad at him. I wouldn't have been mad. I respect it. I would have felt a certain type of way, but I would have respected him, you know what I'm saying, coming and saying, "Hey, look, I just want to get up out of here. I want to go compete." And right now, it looks like you guys are not hitting the reset button, but I don't know if you guys are ready to compete. And I don't know how many more years left I got to play at an all-time high. So I respect it. If Terry would have came out and said the same thing, I would have hate to see Terry go. But at the end of the day, we got new sheriffs in town, man. So we got to support them. We got to not you can question it, but just get behind them and just say, "Hey, whatever y'all choose to do with it." And we have already seen the betting odds. We already seen a like from one one guy who we had already just sent reports out about a couple of weeks ago that we are no longer engaging in trades with wide receiver from the San Francisco 49ers, Brandon Ayuk. And now that is starting to resurface. And again, getting a third for Jahan. If you tell me that you about to package a third and a fifth, or a third and 2 6s or whatever to get Brandon Ayuk, hey, are we still questioning it? Are we still going to question Adam Peters if he turns that trade into a Brandon Ayuk trade? I guarantee you the fan base is going to go nuts. I will be happy as well. I believe we have a Brandon Ayuk and Terry McLaurin. I would rather us take that third. This is me. This is what I think we should do. If we don't go after Brandon Ayuk, I think we should package that third in the draft of 2025 and trade back up into the first round to go get Arizona wide receiver. I can't remember his name, but just go check him out. He's a receiver for Arizona. Crazy jumping ability. We need a big receiver on the outside to go next to Terry. That's just me. That's just my personal preference. I think that's what will help us in having success from an offense perspective. You get what I'm saying? I'm not saying that Terry cannot run every route. I'm not saying that he can't go up and go get a football. I've seen him do it. We all have seen him do it. So that's not my concerns, but we kind of need that big receiver on the outside. But guess what? Guess what this means? It's not yet been said, but this is a huge turnaround for third-round pick out of UNC, De'Ami Brown. This is his chance to, remember I said earlier in earlier videos, is that this moment right here when we enter training camp and even back in mini camps and voluntary camp and all that, this is a chance for all of the old guys and all of the new guys that they brought in to truly make a name for themselves. And you want to kind of come out and try to show that, hey, I can actually be something. And everybody had high hopes for De'Ami when we drafted him. He didn't get much playing time. He didn't get much opportunity with the old regime. But he's shown that, hey, I can play this outside position. And we got guys that can play the slot position. You got Zacchaeus. You got Luke McCaffrey. You still got Jamison Crowder, a vet. Got Pringle. So we got guys that we can plug into that slot role. You just hope that they can give you what Jahan Dotson probably would have gave you on a Sunday-to-Sunday basis. But guess what? We got De'Ami. All signs are pointing to De'Ami being that guy that's going to be playing on the outside, aside from Terry McLaurin. And I'm excited for him because he showed little spurts that he can get open. He can take the top off of a defense. His catching ability was questionable a couple of years ago, but this also is a chance for him to answer some of those questions that. I don't know if you guys ever remember back where Amar St. Brown from the Detroit Lions questioned the Washington Commanders for taking De'Ami over him. And now he's soared out a late round pick to being one of the top receivers in the league. Why can't that happen for De'Ami? So I'm all behind the De'Ami playing the outside, playing the number 2, being our number 2 guy. And don't forget, we still got Martavius Bryant. Who knows how he's going to come along? Who knows how he's going to hit the ground running? Who knows once he gets settled into the offense, what he might do? We don't know. It's all up in the air. A lot of people know the the Arizona Cardinals Cliff Kingsbury, but we don't know what he did with that year. We don't know how that reinvented him or re-energized him to want to come back. And now he's solely focused on calling plays. He can sit in that office all day and just dot up plays. He ain't got to worry about special team meetings. He ain't got to oversee defensive meetings. He ain't got to be worried about the draft, the scouting department. He solely is focused on how to put the ball in the end zone on a week-to-week basis. So again, we're gonna see how Martavius Brown, come along in this next preseason game against the Patriots. I know one of the big talks was do Jaden play? The fanism in me and the baller in me, yeah, I want to see him play. But I believe after him being named the number one quarterback that, he can go and sit down. Let's go ahead and get up for week 1. At this point, yes, I want all of our starters to relax this week, go through practice, no injuries. The guys that has been hurt and, bruised up, hopefully they can, take this week and get even more healthier. Brandon Coleman, I know Wiley was dealing with some knick-knack injuries. Hopefully he can get back to 100%. But yeah, all of our minor injuries that we got, but I did see one funny tweet that showed the little kid running out and then turning around and running. Everybody saying Emmanuel Forbes when he see Adam Peters running down the hall, walking down the hallway. I thought that was pretty funny. Because it seems like, hey, man, just because you was a number 1 pick with that old regime, ain't nothing guaranteed to you. Ain't nothing guaranteed, especially, like, how could you feel as though that you was a previous first, Jamin Davis, Emmanuel Forbes, Jahan Dotson. And I'm just going to say it, nothing against those guys. I think that these guys can be talented players if given the opportunity and given the chance to, shake off that old regime mentality and buy into the new regime. Jamin Davis, we seen him get a sack fumble against the Dolphins. Hopefully he can come into this game and cause more havoc. Show more that he's learning from the new regime. He's learning how to be more of a pass rusher. Showing us alternate moves. Like that jab step, that's a basketball move. He just jabbed, went inside and cooked Paul. Sorry, Chris Paul. I know that was your brother that it happened to, but hey, no harm, no foul, man. He had to get that work. But anywho, no position is safe. No old regime player that's outside of Jonathan Allen, Deron Payne, and Terry McLaurin. Nobody's safe. And Sam Cosmi. Those are the only guys that's pretty much solidified from the old regime that ain't gonna go nowhere. At this point, everybody else, Benjamin St-Juste, might gotta go. Hey, what can we get for him? I ain't gonna be mad at it because I'm not a players fan. I'm a team fan, and I rock behind the team and whatever the organization direction they decide to go in. So hey, it also remains to be said that I spoke on the B. Mitch situation about if he was talking about Jahan, and it's looking like it is showing that was who he was speaking about. You know what I'm saying? He never spoke to, he never gave a name. He just said a player, but all the speculations led to Jahan Dotson. And if he was moping around, if that was the case, get up with you, player. Because if your mentality is, I was drafted first round, I was the first commander to be drafted to this team. Man, ain't nothing guaranteed to you, brother. Especially with this new regime in town, man. We building, we breeding strong mental players that ain't gonna let them playing 2 to 3 quarters in a preseason game define who they are. Honestly, you should have went out there and barbecued, went for 100 yards, 2 touchdowns, and then went and looked at the coach after the game and said, "Yeah, this is why they drafted me number 1." That's what you do. That's what it ain't no moping at practice. Nah, this is a grown man. This is an adult sport, man. It ain't no moping at practice. And if you unhappy, again, this is what happened to unhappy players, man. We had to get them up out of there, man. If you're not gonna buy in. So again, I am happy with the trade. Some people speculated, we only can get a third for him. We got trade rate. Nah. He had a solid rookie season. He did not establish himself. I thought we was going a fourth, maybe a fourth. Now you say the fifth, you throw the fifth in there. That changes the value of the trade, but we got a third and 2 conditional 7s. We never know what those may turn into. We just don't know. It may turn into a 6 or a 5th. We don't know yet. But anywho, I'm happy with the trade. I'm happy what we got back for him. And again, one could say Brandon Ayuk is on the way. One could say it. One could say that's the they wanted to get extra draft capital so they won't lose a third. You gain a third, and then you give away the third to get another player to go next to another receiver and the best friend of our starting quarterback, Jaden Daniels. You get him to come on board, and he's your number 2 or he's the number 1. Who knows? But he could play the slot. He could play the outside. He could play the X and the Y. He can play any way he want. So can Terry. So guess what that also means? That Cliff can dial up whatever he wants, and you can't scheme to just, oh, all right, we know that we got to put over top coverage on the outside on Terry. Oh, we know he playing inside the numbers. All right, we're gonna put that, we're gonna drop that outside linebacker because they probably gonna try to throw a slant, or they probably gonna try. We're gonna roll the safety over top because he probably try to run a fade or something on the outside the numbers. But we don't know. But hey, look. It remains to be seen and it remains to be heard what else my boy Adam Peters got working behind the scenes. And I like the fact that none of this stuff was leaked. None of these rumors was being spreaded during the time. I was happy that I can walk out, check my phone from taking a break at work, and seeing that, hey, Adam Peters was cooking. He was in the kitchen. He was whipping it up. Don't be mad. Let's ride behind the new regime. Let's ride behind the new GM, the new owner, the new coaching, the new players. Like, let's ride behind them, y'all. This is a new era. This is a new time. This is a new day. And with that being said, hey man, let's wait and see what else is out there for us before the start of week 1. I hope to see the players. I hope the guys that's going out here, Tyler Owens, some of the other guys that's trying to make a name for themselves, trying to fight for a position on this team, go out there and put some good film out there. So, even if it don't work out here, they can go and get picked up by somebody else, man. And with that being said, I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm out.